Speed ups are the lifeblood of Rise of Kingdoms. Whether you're fighting and you need to heal, whether you need to train, speed ups are everything in this game. We buy bundles for speed ups. We do events for speed ups. We do everything we can to regenerate our speed ups in the game. We're going to show you an old trick. It's an oldie but goodie. This thing still works. It's still amazing. And for you young players, you need to know what to do with this because it will drastically help you replenish some of those training speed ups. So stick around. We'll go through it right here. Hey everybody, I'm your boy War Daddy Chatsky, and I put out videos all the time. And if you enjoyed these videos, please throw a thumbs up and like them. It doesn't cost you anything, and if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. It also doesn't cost you anything. We are increasing our subscribers. They're going through the roof. The community that we're building that we're so proud of continues to grow. And if you want to join that community, go to my Discord link. It's in the description. Join the conversation. This was something that was brought up because this is something we used to do quite a bit back in the day. And when I say we used to do this, it's because we used to try to figure out what was the best way to actually do speed up regeneration. Like, what's the best way to do it? How do you do it? And events are great. Bundles are great. Just playing the game and being active, you can get speed ups by doing that. Being in the right alliance. I'm over here in the secondary alliance in 606, but when I join the main alliance, I'm gonna get gifts. I'm gonna get all kinds of different, when people buy bundles, when people do forts, there's all kinds of ways to regenerate your speed ups. And one of the best ways to do it, and this is a secret that we've all known for a long time, it just hasn't been brought up very recently. Anytime you're training troops throughout, okay, I really don't run a siege march, and I have 600,000 siege troops. So many players who maybe either run one siege march will sit here and look up and they've got 500,000 T5 and 500,000 T4 siege. You don't need that much for one march. So those of you who don't run any siege marches, you don't need any siege. And so when we talk about killing siege, there's a way you can do that that's going to get you a massive amount of speed ups. Let me show you how we do it. First and foremost, this is Peace here. Of course, this is Peace from my live stream. She just migrated over from 960. She was in GT. She's a crazy good player. She had a ton of siege. She's like, Chatsky, I'm doing MGE, and she was doing some points for MGE, and she was doing some dueling. And so she went ahead and filled her hospital. So you fill your hospital to the brim. Like, you get it completely full. And then what she did was she was like, hey, I'm ready to kill some siege today. So she throws a siege march into this node. Let me show you kind of how this thing works. She's got it into the node here, and I drop tags and I go to another alliance. And so basically how this works out is that when I drop tags and go to another alliance, I am able to attack her marches. And so since she is in a node with all those siege marches, I'm just going to go hammer her marches, okay? And from that standpoint, what happens is there's an automatic help that shows up in her alliance. And when those helps reach, I think 15 total, it doesn't take very long, but once they reach 15, she gets caravans. And when she gets caravans, what happens is she gets first aid. And first aid is a package in the game where they give you back some troops, they give you back some resources, and they give you back speed ups. It is massive. It is such an important thing. So you can do this over and over in the same day. Now, eventually it starts to scale down and trickle down. So if you have a massive amount of siege, like if you're sitting here with 1 million siege, it might take you a couple of days to do it to get the max value. Well, she had like, I think 500,000 or something like that. So she just started loading them in that node, and I started killing them. And you can see here in the reports, she's taking deads every time I'm killing her siege. Take 30,000 deads there. Let me see here. I did it here. She took 31,000 deads. She took 39,000 deads. She had a whole bunch of siege she needed to kill off. Now, what's the benefit of this? Because I know some of you players are like, well, why would you kill your own troops? What's the point of training them to kill them? Well, you want to train siege every day just to get your dailies, right? It doesn't really cost much, especially T4, and you get daily you basically get your dailies that come through right here every day. And when you train your siege, you work on your daily objectives. Okay, so it's good benefit to always keep siege training. But then when you have enough, let's say you run a siege march and you've got more than enough than you need, you can always kill your siege marches in a node when your hospital is full. And here's what it gives you, because this is about to blow your mind on how much it gives you. So here was the first one that Peace got. She got 17. She had 11,000 siege killed. She got 1,776 training speedups of 5-minute speedups. Okay, when you go to the next one, I mean, it just continues. 2,400 days or 2,400 minutes. 2,400. 5-minute speedups. Okay, so we're working in 5-minute speedup increments. 2,800 5-minute speedups. Holy cow, this is all just now. 3,000 5-minute speedups. 2,300 5-minute speedups, another 1,700, and then another 1,000. Okay, so she did this over and over and over. She killed off about 300,000 siege units, or maybe 300,000 or 400,000. And the accumulation of those speedups, let me just tell you, it turned into 52 days of speedups. 52 days. How crazy is that? And so if you take the 52 days, you divide that out by 24, you multiply that out by 24, that she literally got 1,248 hours of speedups. And then if you multiply that out by minutes, it's 74,000 minutes of speedups. That is absolutely insane what you're able to get. 52 days of speedups, the best bundles in the game. For speedups, to max out a $385 bundle in USD, that's like 50 days. That it's crazy what you're able to get. And now she's able to put that into her bank to be able to train more down the road when she needs to train her infantry or her archers or her cavalry. When it's time for her to train, she looks up and she's got an additional 52 days of training speedups. And that is one of the tools you can use, because over time you can just accumulate your siege. I've got siege cooking right now. I do 1,000 every day, 1,000 to 1,100 every day. And so over time, because I rarely run a siege march, it accumulates to 660,000. And I'm going to go take the 616 and I'm going to go kill it one day. And when I do, I'm going to be able to go get a massive amount of speed up. So that's just a trick to know and how to do it. Now, you don't want to leave Alliance. How you do it, again, to review, is that you fill your hospital, you stay in the main alliance, you have a friend of yours drop tag and go to a different alliance, and then you put your marches into a node. And once you put them into a node, have your buddy go kill them, and then just wait. And once you get your caravans, you go do it again and again and again. And you do it about 5 or 6 times, and you can do that many times in a day. It gives you the max value. And then if you still have siege left over, keep your hospital full. You're gonna have to deal with it for a day, but then after the next reset, you go do it again, and you can maximize your days. I'll never forget one time when I did this, I ran it almost up to 100 days of speed ups in training that I got. And that's how crazy this is. So for those of you new players who don't know, it's an easy way to do it. I'll go through it again here. Put them in a node. You can see my marches popping out. I'm in INSH. She's still in the main alliance of IN in 606. And I go kill her marches. And once I do, once she gets the helps, she gets a whole bunch of speed ups back. It really creates a good situation to be able to replenish those training speed ups by utilizing your siege that you're not using for anything else. Plus, it also helps your kingdom, because if you're worried about your power and you're worried about the matchmaking weight and all the things that come with holding on to a bunch of power in your kingdom, this is an easy way to drop a lot of power with troops that your kingdom does not need. And so there's no sense in having a whole bunch of siege if you never use it, because from there your kingdom is having to carry that weight. 1 T5 siege is the same thing as 1 T5 cavalry. So if you have 1,000,000 T5 siege, that's 10 million power of siege. If you have 500,000, that's 5 million power of T5 siege that your kingdom is carrying that you don't need. And so there's benefits all around. You get more speed ups, you help your kingdom out, you drop your power, all those things that you can do. And so hopefully everybody got an idea of how this thing works. If you have any other questions about it, put it down in the comments. I'm always there answering questions, or go to my Discord and ask questions about this. It is crazy how many days of speeds you can get with an old trick that we already know. But for those of you new players, we need to refresh it for you so you understand this is a very, very good tool. And with all that being said, we hope you guys have a great day, broskies.